Well, thought it might be time to have a little look around the garden and see how it is surviving the winter. Now this area here is where come spring I will get flowers, daffodils and various other triffids. Oh, this looks a bit buggered, doesn't it? Oh, careful where I walk. Oh dear. I don't think that has survived particularly well. Oh, the grass is still relatively green. The birds have got somewhere to have a bath. Whole different world now I haven't got the trees. Now this is the, after 8 years of saying this, I really should set up a little bistro setup here. Make some use of the space. Okay, so what's going on today? Well, I've had a good long chat with Captain Mustard. We were on the phone for an hour. The daily diary is downloading from the edit suite and can then be uploaded to YouTube. And it's Friday, isn't it? So I need to do a bit of car shuffling. I need Sheeson for the weekend. Oh, and Sheeson will be going to the yard on Monday, and we'll be going for an MOT. Fingers crossed on that. So yeah, I need to shuffle the cars around and get Sheeson into pole position and see if they've been to empty the bin. Hopefully they have, but garden looks okay so far. Apart from that poor triffid down there, which I assume is somewhat deaded. I'm still annoyed about my fog light. It's going to cost about 40 or 50 quid to get another one of those, and I'm going to have to pay somebody to fit it. I suppose, presuming the bumper has to come off, it would make sense to get somebody to take the bumper off and fit a fog light and the missing front doings thing from there. Really annoying. Okay, well, I've decided that Lewis Hamilton can stay in the pits where he fits better than any other car. It's a small pit box. So, bloody hellfire. So Mingebag, who had a bit of a sponge over yesterday. Good girl. Oh, what's that fuel gauge doing? Have a look at this. Now I know that I don't have a full tank of petrol. That fuel gauge is all over the place like a pair of mad woman's pants. It's sinking down into a more correct place. So Mingebag can go down the road and Sheeson can come up into pole position for the weekend. But we'll take Minge round the block as part of my ongoing determination to keep them all getting a bit of warmth through them. Have the bins been emptied? Oh, I'll check that on the way back. Yeah, my continued effort to make sure the cars have cycles of heat and get their wheels turned over. And then Minge can tuck in behind Dicka Dum Dum and Sheeson can move up the road. So we'll whiz Minji here around the block, get her up to heat, get a cycle of heat through her. She's still, there's no condensation inside, so taking her out for that night did the trick. I mean, that's what I need to do with the cars, isn't it? I mean, anybody who watched Mustard's video, not the one with James, the one before, I think it was the one before, but anybody who watched that will see the problems with leaving cars to get damp in winter. I mean, you saw the state of that poor little diesel 25. The amount of mould in that, and I own a third of that mould, thank you very much. And we don't want that happening with these cars, do we? Look at that, darlings, blue sky, little bit of blue sky. So we'll slow down for these horses. But yeah, we're going to keep on top of these cars, darlings. There is going to be no mould issues. Thank you very much. Oh, what a lovely pony. Where's the accelerator gone? Ah, there it is. Ah, we're down to quarter of a tank. That's a bit more realistic. Just notch the heater up to warp factor 1, Mr. Scott. So, yeah, so Mingebag is going to have some bloody money spent on it. Well, one job that shouldn't require any money, I might be able to do it myself, is to get the heater blower knob fitting properly. And that means getting the broken bit of the previous knob off. I don't know, paper clip or some long nose pliers or something. It can be done apparently. It is a bit of a fiddle, but I've seen on the forums that it can be done. Time check, 10 to 2. Daily diary still not uploaded. Should be by the time I get back there. Looking rather nice today, my lovelies. Would you agree? Oh, policeman Batter. Don't often see policeman Batter around these parts. I automatically feel guilty. That's a sign of a misspent past, isn't it? I automatically assume I either haven't got tax, haven't got an MOT, haven't got insurance, or am drunk, and none of those apply. I'm a very law-abiding person these days. I think we can take the heater up to warp factor 2. Oh no, I've made a mistake. I'm already on warp factor 2. Oh, I didn't realise. I was having a look at last year's videos, and there was a video where I took I took wet leg with the roof down to the yard in February. So spring might be closer than we think, but we'll see what happens. This is jolly old Britain, where the weather is an unknown quantity. Now hopefully by the time we hit the main road, Minge will be at full temp and I can poodle back down the main road with the heater full on to whack some heat through her and keep her dry and condensation free. Okay, so we got the We got the coolant and the oil up to temp, got a bit of warmth around the cabin, got the wheels turning over, so that'll do for Minji for today. Let's get her parked up. We'll pop her in here behind Dick-a-Dum-Dum. There we go, that'll do. And so now we jump into the Honourable Shisen. Bit of fuel there, but what isn't there is a camera mount, because it went into Lewis Hamilton. So right, but all I'm going to do now is just literally take Shisen round the very quick block just to put him in pole position. I'm not going to give him a warm-up drive because he's going out tonight. So you see that green thing down there? That's the heater control valve, and Joe has said that if I keep WDing that and tweaking at the knob inside, it'll eventually free itself off. So let's give that a go. Hello my lovelies, and you now join me as I'm on my way to work in Shisen, and it's going to be an interesting night because there are going to be a few changes. Now Bickass, kind of one of the main men, super nice guy, he runs the pass on a Friday and Saturday. And he's a top man when it comes to a madly busy pass. Now he's a man who can do a little bit of everything. He can cook, he can run the pass, he can run front of house, and for all of those reasons, he's opening his own restaurant in a couple of weeks' time. He'll be opening not far away, Sutton in Ashfield. But far enough away that it won't be competition for us. So we wish him all the very best, but my goodness me, we will miss him. So we've got a new guy doing his role. Even though he's not opening yet, he's got plenty of work to do on the restaurant, obviously. So his last day with us was whenever it was. Probably New Year's Eve. So there's a new guy replacing him, who I don't know, who I've never met, and new driver. Andy has finally fallen on his sword, bless him. Really grateful for all of his help over more than a year. Is it 2 years? I don't know. But he's decided it's time for him to take it a bit easier. And we have got, starting tonight, the lovely Pat and the lovely Mrs. Pat. Now, Pat was our driver. I'm dropping the T. Pat was our driver before, and I really like him. Really, really nice guy. Petrol head into his cars, into his MG Rover, and an ex-mechanic as well. So jolly useful chap to know, really, for a multitude of reasons, but a splendid driver. And he works as a double team with Mrs. Pat, who is equally lovely. And bless them, they've had been through the wars a bit with one thing and another lately, and it means that he's coming back. So he'll be our Friday and Saturday man, and when Sabana goes, which will be when the new restaurant opens, if I then go full-time front of house, Pat and Mrs. Pat, who come as two for the price of one, will be our full-time drivers. So it's going to be an interesting evening. Not sure how busy it's going to be. I suspect it will probably be fairly quiet, but if it is busy, at least I know deliveries won't be an issue. And I think we're okay for front of house stuff. I think Boaty might be coming in tonight, and she might need a lift home to Nottingham, but we'll see how it all plays out. I did WD-40 the heater valve thing, and I have been wiggling and jiggling the old heater knob. I think Joe said it took him 3 or 4 days of repeatedly WD-40ing it. Other penetrating oils are possibly available. Yeah, I think he said it took him 3 or 4 days before it suddenly went ping and the heater knob went all the way to full hot. So I shall persevere with that. Oh, and the bonnet catch stuck as well, so I WD-40'd the life out of that, and that seems okay now. And I did check the levels. I'm a good boy. And I did have a look at the tyre with the puncture, and it is still inflated. So we are all good. Right. Oh, now Spring Watch. It's Friday, which means that I leave for work at 5:15. Sorry, 4:15 in theory. I was a bit late leaving. It is now 4:32, and as you can see, it is most definitely not dark. I mean, it's lights on, but it's not dark, is it? So there we go. Lovely. Right, I'm going to stick the radio on, and I will catch you in a bit. So this is our posh new system that I pretended didn't exist for the first week that it was here, because I don't like change and I don't like new things. But now I've accepted that I've got to try and get to grips with it, and I have started reprogramming some little bits to improve the spelling. What are you doing? Huh? I'm trying to make a professional film here, and you're jabbering away in foreign. Right, time to go home. Oh, let's try not to get a copyright strike, shall we? And it was really lovely having Pat and Mrs. Pat back, and the new chap, now I must remember his name, Pratic. New chap seems very good and very nice chap, so happy days. Right, my lovelies. Oh, a text message. Who could that be? A text message. I don't often get a text message. Okay. It's 11:11, and that, in terms of the daily diary, is Friday done. Much love. See you next time. Boaty out.